Let's get started.
Hello, happy Thursday. Today I'm going to be doing the case of Ellen Greenberg. Ellen Greenberg was an American woman who died after sustaining 20 stab wounds. Her death was officially ruled a suicide despite the 20 stab wounds, 10 to her back and neck, and 11 bruises, sparking extensive debate as to whether the cause of death was actually a homicide. The mysterious circumstances surrounding the manner of death have prompted significant political activity, legal action, and global media coverage. So I am going to be honest, I have heard of this case. However, I did not do any deep dives on it, any research about it, anything like that. I recently saw her picture in the news, so I figured, let's do her case. So, the first thing I'm going to ask, and that I want to know, is what was her energy that day? What was her energy throughout the day? What was going on with her? How she was feeling? The day this happened to her. I'm sure we all know it's not a self-unaliving. That's ridiculous. Okay. So what happened to her? Or what's her energy that day? There's two right there. Let me just pick them up. We got the Star up in reverse. We got the Knight of Wands in reverse. There was something that she wasn't happy about. There was something going on in her life at that moment that she was not happy about, that caused a lot of negativity and a lot of depression. There was some kind of disconnection with someone in her life at that time, whether it was a friend, boyfriend, fiance. I think she had a fiance, so I'm assuming it's going to be the fiance. Something was going on in the relationship that she wasn't happy about. I think that the relationship she was in was really exhausting. She either wanted a break from it or she wanted out of it completely. Yeah, she didn't. I think she wanted to leave her fiance. I don't think she wanted to work it out anymore, and I think he was refusing to let her go. Let's see what else. Her energy that day, please. Everyone's energy that day. We got Ace of Cups upright. There was something going on in her relationship that made her feel like she was being let down. She felt disappointed in something. I don't know if it's something that her fiance did or her fiance didn't do or said or didn't say. There was, like I said, some kind of disconnection between them. I don't think she felt the way for him as she used to feel for him. I think there's something in him that changed, that she did not agree with or did not like. So that day, I think she was just in her mind thinking, how am I going to get out of this relationship? I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I just want to be alone. I need my space, type of energy. What else can you tell us about her energy that day? Okay. So we got the Queen of Swords. Well, there had to be some kind of argument, and she must have said something to him that made him very upset and snap. I think she finally stood up for herself, because I do feel like, allegedly, just my opinion, for entertainment purposes only, that he was a very manipulative, controlling, maybe emotionally and mentally abusive guy towards her. And I think that day, when she had enough and she realized that she wanted out, she didn't want to be in this relationship anymore, I think she opened up and said something to him that made him feel like he's losing control, or he's not going to be able to control her anymore. And it's like, if I can't have you, nobody can type of energy that I'm feeling. And so I think she was finally standing up to herself, and it all escalated from that point on. I do believe he did do this. Yes, I do believe that. Let's see here. Let's look into the energy surrounding the fiance that day. That was a bad shuffle. Surrounding the fiance that day. What was the fiance's energy that day? Okay, so we got Page of Cups in reverse. And we got Seven of Pentacles in reverse. He was feeling very insecure. I think he realized he was very close to losing her. I think he kind of knew that she was possibly thinking about leaving, just because the way she was acting towards him. He felt like she was neglecting the relationship a little bit, like she wasn't giving her all into it anymore, like she just wasn't into it. I believe he got a little impatient with her. I think they had a conversation about something which she voiced her honest opinion about, that really made him upset and made him lose his patience with her. And I think he just finally snapped. I think, like I said, she finally stood up to herself, or stood up for herself. Yeah, he was very insecure that day. He wasn't. Let's see what else. Like, he was a very immature person. Very immature. Like, he always had to have his way type of person. Okay, Three of Pentacles in reverse. Disharmony. Yeah, I felt like there was something she wanted to talk about that day, that she was actually being honest about, that she was kind of scared to tell him. And because she stood up for herself and said what she said, he got aggravated and basically lost his patience with her, and whatever she said made him really, really upset. It became a huge conflict, and it's like he didn't want to sit there and work it out anymore. Like, he didn't want to sit there and talk about it. He was just like, okay, well, I'll talk to you later and we can work it out then. But she was like really insistent on ending this relationship, and explaining to him how unhappy she was, and how he changed, and how things were not like what they used to be. So he refused to try to work things out when she was trying to have this conversation with them. And I believe he walked away. I did read that he possibly went to the gym. Let's see. What happened before he went to the gym? Allegedly. What happened when he went to the gym? Before he went to the gym. Before he walked out the door. Okay, we got the lovers in reverse. Huh, interesting. There was some breakup going on there, and he was trying to avoid it. But she kept pushing him, pushing his buttons, pushing his boundaries. When he was trying to leave for the gym, I think she maybe exploded a little bit about how, yeah, go ahead, walk out the door. You don't care about this relationship. You never cared about me. It's over. Yada, yada, yada. And at that moment, he made a really, really bad choice. And I think that's when he hurt her. I think maybe her back was turned. And I don't know if he had like a pocket knife on him or a knife close by, but I feel like he grabbed that like right away, like right when he lost his crap and started going at it with her. There was something that she said that made him feel less than a person, is all I can think of. And I think that's what really got it going. She said something about his character that he was not going to put up with, allegedly. Okay, so we know why it happened, and we know the energy of both of them that day and why it happened. That just came out on its own. But, what was the fiance's energy after the crime, and what did he do? Where did he go? Do they not have cameras in their like little apartment building where they can see if you went to the gym? All right. What's the energy surrounding after the crime? After what he did? What's the energy? All right. We got Temperance in reverse, and we got Eight of Pentacles in reverse. He couldn't focus. He lost all control. It's like he blacked out in a way, but not, if you know what I mean. Like, deep down inside, he knew what he was doing, but it's like he couldn't control his body type thing. Like something else was taking over his body. I know that sounds weird. He was very angry. He felt out of control. He took things to the extremes. I have no idea how law enforcement thinks this is a self-unaliving. It is totally ridiculous. There's no way in hell somebody can stab themselves in their back and their upper neck like 20 times. This was overkill type of thing. And he set it up to make it look like she did it herself. I don't know how or why he thought that would work, but somehow it did. I feel like he's telling people that the reason why she did this to herself is because they had an argument and he was going to leave her, when in fact it was the other way around, and he was not going to let her go anywhere. He he was just not himself after that. He was like in his own little world in his mind. I think he was in denial as well. He tried to talk himself into thinking that he didn't do this, that she really did do this to herself. Because when you tell yourself a lie so many times and then you really start to believe it, that type of energy. Anything else? Two of Cups. Yeah, he wasn't going to let her go. There was nobody else he wanted to be with but her, and he couldn't bear to see her with somebody else, or even see her happy on her own. There was no way he was going to let her go, so he had to do what he had to do. There was just no partnership in the relationship at all. It seemed to be all one-sided, which was her side. Like, she tried everything, and he was just an abusive creep that only cared about himself and his own feelings. And basically, he's the type of person, I feel like, where he can do what he wants and get what he wants and won't have any repercussions for it. And then when she finally came out and stood up to him, that's when he flipped and went into like a psycho mode and like blacked out and did all that stuff. And then strangely, he did leave, but I don't know if he went to the gym, but he acted normal. Hang on. Jesus. King of Swords, reverse. Ten of Wands in reverse, and the Moon in reverse. He felt like he did no wrong and he can get away with this. He felt free in a way. I think just because of the stress of being controlling and all the arguments that they have, he like felt relief that was going to be all over with. I'm wondering if Ellen found out something about him that he didn't want her to know, and was some kind of secret, or he found out something about her, like was she like talking to another man, or hanging out with another man, something in that nature. And this is also what caused him to snap. I think maybe during the argument she said something about someone else, and that contributed to everything that was happening. Yeah, she was wanting to break up with him, and he would not let the breakup happen. He was saying, nope, we're gonna stay together, you can't leave me, type of thing. He felt like he can get away with anything, and he was controlling and irrational, and he thought he was untouchable. And it seems I'm wondering if he has any connections in law enforcement or anything like that, because this does not make any sense why law enforcement would think this is a self-unaliving. This is just ridiculous. Let's look into that, actually. Why does law enforcement classify this case as a self-unaliving? Why does law enforcement classify this case as an unaliving, as a self-unaliving? What's going on in law enforcement? Why are they being ridiculous? The Magician, reverse. Some kind of manipulation. Maybe not having the right resources, or just the energy to deal with it. Alleged. Let's see what else comes with it. For some reason, I'm picking up, like, they didn't really want to believe that this was a homicide type deal. Six of Cups in reverse. I don't think they just wanted to deal with this case. I think they looked into her past and realized that she had mental issues way back then, and this was eventually going to come. And I don't think they had the right resources to actually investigate this, or they just didn't want to. They just wanted to close this case. It's so weird. There's something in law enforcement that they're lying about. They're not. They're covering up something. Are they covering up something? Are they covering up something? King of Swords again, in reverse. They're protecting this guy. Is her fiance, like, did he come from a family like that's high in power, high in success, high in authority? What's this connection with her fiance and law enforcement? What's the connection with her fiance and law enforcement, please? Three of Wands in reverse. There was just too much to do in that case to investigate, and I don't think they wanted to waste the resources and the money. What's this connection? The Hanged Man upright. He has some kind of connection with some kind of authority figure that has a lot of power over a lot of people. You know, this kind of reminds me of one of those cases where, like, the father to this murderer is, like, a very famous and successful lawyer, and therefore, you know, his dad pays people off not to charge him and stuff like that, or they're scared to charge him because of his power, because of his father's power type thing. They're purposefully delaying investigating this case. For some reason, they are protecting the fiance, and I don't understand why. But I think there's some kind of connection there with the fiance and law enforcement, allegedly, all my opinion. I can't think, man. All right, let's go to this deck. What are the police hiding, or what is there that they can look into if they wanted to? I apologize for the fire truck. Why are they protecting this guy? Victim stalked by killer. Yes, he was very controlling and he was manipulative, and I feel like she couldn't go anywhere without him. He was always watching her, so that's just confirmation. This case will remain unsolved until key evidence is discovered. I believe this will remain unsolved unless somebody wants to come out and tell them that they know the information, because this guy's being protected for some reason by law enforcement, and I don't know why. But this case is not going to be solved until somebody speaks up. Until somebody comes forward. They need to get like I know they're not this dumb. They're protecting him for some reason. This just does not make any sense. I'm confused as all hell. The energy is wild. Victim had a history with killer. Yeah, well, duh, obviously. They were engaged and they were dating. And you know what's weird? Look at that. It's like he knocked her down, and while he's trying to help get her back up after this argument, after this conflict, he has a plan to, like, hurt her. If you see what I mean there. That's so weird. Alright, they didn't really tell us much. Okay, let's do these. So in closing, what I do in closing is I pick 5 cards from each oracle. This one, this one, this one. And if I need any clarification, I'll use one of them to clarify, or I'll use tarot to clarify. And in this section of the video, in closing, is just basically either more info that that we need to know, or confirmation on the info that I already picked up on, or any last messages that the victim would like to tell us. So I'm gonna pick 5 cards from here. Oh my god, I cannot shuffle today. Tell us your story, Ellen, please. What happened? Although I basically already know. Can you confirm any of the information? Is there anything more? 5 cards from this deck. One. Desert. Drugs, poison, road, dismemberment. One more. Oh, that's too many. Alive. Okay, so we got desert. We got drugs and poison. We got road. We got dismemberment. And we got alive. Was the fiance on some type of drugs? Was he like a drug user, like steroids or something? Yeah, in the relationship, he basically deserted her, and I know this is silly, but this is what I'm getting. He deserted her, and down the road, he dismantled this relationship. He ruined it. He destroyed it. He made it so she didn't want to be in it anymore. So this does not mean physical dismemberment. This alive card, I think this is him claiming that when he left to go to the gym, or wherever it is that he was going to go, that she was alive, and then when she came back, you know, or when he came back, yeah, he's claiming that she was alive when he left. And I think this road thing is when he left too. Like she was alive when I left. Anything from this deck? Thrills. Addictions. Yeah, the cycles of abuse. This traffic drives me insane. Okay, we got family. Inner circle, yeah. Jesus. Sorry about that. Okay, so far with the thrills, bad decisions, I believe this is her continually trying to make the relationship work and continually putting herself in abusive situations with this guy. Honestly, I don't know why she even said yes to marrying him. I think maybe because she was scared of him, that if she said no, something would happen type thing. But she kept on, I mean, the abuse was over and over and over again, and she made the bad decision to stay. And the blood ties is her fiance. Like, the person that did this to her is in her inner circle. It's kind of like family, which he is, because he's her fiance. So she's just confirming that he is the one that did this to her. Okay, we got healing. Yeah, we got exhausted. Yeah, remember when I said that she was exhausted from this relationship? She wanted to leave so she can heal herself and be happy. Hang on, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Feminine energy. She just wanted to be herself again. This whole relationship, this whole abusive cycle stuff, and controllingness and all that stuff, was very exhausting to her. She wanted to leave. She wanted to become herself again, and she wanted to heal so she can be happy. She was done being unhappy, and she just didn't want to do it anymore. I'm gonna pull one more. Law enforcement is protecting this guy for some reason. Something. His family has to be high up in authority with something. Or like he has a family member that's in law enforcement. Burned bridges. Lack of trust, disloyal. Burned bridges. There was no trust in that relationship at all. He betrayed her and turned his back on her when he did what he did to her, when he took her life. She trusted him enough to not physically harm her, and he burned that bridge. He burned that trust when he did what he did to her. Okay, now this one. I'll pick 5 in this deck. Oh, that was a close one. Knowing they've effed up. I think he maybe has a little bit of regret, but more of he fucked himself over, because if they do decide to charge him with anything, you know. So we got manipulation, lies, control, getting played. Yep, see, confirmation. And we got promiscuous, sleeps around. I think he thought she was cheating on him. I'm wondering if he was accusing her of cheating and talking to people that she shouldn't be talking to. Lies, manipulation, and control. That's just confirmation that the relationship was hell, basically. There's the last two. Okay. Toxic. Yep, toxic relationship. Fake friends. I think there is a friend or two in their circle that was friends with both of them, that know exactly what he did to her and why, and for some reason they are covering it up for him, as well as law enforcement. I don't know why, allegedly, my opinion. And she feels like these friends betrayed her, burned bridges by not getting her any justice, by taking his side. She's saying that, you know, they're fake friends, they're toxic, everything is toxic. The relationship was toxic, the friendships were toxic. All the people that she thought were her friends were not her friends, because some of them know exactly what happened and they're not fighting for her. Okay, so desert. One card for desert. Clarification for desert. Anything? Okay. So for desert, we got Ace of Wands in reverse. Rejection. Oh, okay. He felt like she was deserting him by trying to leave the relationship and not caring about his feelings and whatnot. She was rejecting him. She was deserting him by trying to leave the relationship, I believe that is. Drugs and poison. It's too many. I'll take that one. King of Swords. He has always came out as the King of Swords in this reading. He is on some kind of he's on some kind of like steroid type things. He's on steroids, which would make sense because, you know, when you're on steroids, they call it roid rage. I think he was on a lot he was on it that day, and he lost control, and he did this to her. He overpowered her, and he ended her life. Yeah, he was doing steroids and roid raging. Like, he couldn't handle his emotions. Road. That was fast. 3 wands in reverse. He wasn't expecting this to happen, so I don't think this was planned. I think he figured down the road things will get better, and you know, she'll go through with the wedding and whatnot. But I think this toxic stuff that was going on in the relationship was kind of delaying their wedding, and just made her think more about whether if this is what she wanted, if this is what she wanted to spend the rest of her life around and doing. And I don't think anybody wants to spend the rest of their life, you know, being manipulated and emotionally and mentally abused. But he had hope that down the road that she would, you know, just put everything behind them and continue on with their plans of getting married. Dismemberment, him tearing apart the relationship, and also tearing apart her family by doing this to her. King of Cups in reverse. He's been destroying this relationship for a long time, and he's been always getting away with it, so that's why he continues to do it. I never expected her to stand up for herself and leave. I don't think he loved her as much as he loved the control. Alright. That's all I'm gonna have right now. Okay, let's ask. Will this case ever be resolved? Someone's covering up for him. The police department is covering up for him for some reason. This does not make any sense to me. We got the Queen of Cups in reverse. We got the Hierophant in reverse. And we got the Six of Cups in reverse. I don't think her parents, especially her mom, is ever going to give up on this. I think she's going to fight until she gets the justice that she deserves. Because her mom knows, as well as everybody else with a brain, that this was not something she did to herself. This was something that was done to her. I think the parents are going to try to take the higher route, either through court or hiring their own detective to figure out exactly what happened and to get justice for this guy. But I don't know why there's people protecting him. This mom and dad, this family is not going to rest until they get justice for their daughter. They're going to do whatever they can do. They're going to go through so many, like all the resources they can to find the truth of what happened to her and to get justice. I think eventually, with all the pressure that the parents are going to be putting on the police department and just the case in general, I think they're going to reopen it and just try to investigate it and actually have new investigators come in and do their own investigation. And eventually, I think there will be justice. He's not going to be charged with premeditated, because I don't feel like this was planned. This just happened. But I feel like he will get life. I don't think he's going to get the death penalty, but there is going to be justice. I just don't know when. It could be 20 years down the road from now. Who knows? But this family is not going to stop fighting until there's justice. So you can expect them to stay in the battlefield, so to speak. Okay, so that's all I got for Ellen Greenberg. Confusing, weird, messed up case. If there's any case you would like me to look into, let me know down below. Thank you for all your support by following me. Please share and like this video. I would appreciate it if you would help me grow my channel. I'm hoping the more I do these videos, the better I'll get at interpretations and explaining what's going on in my head, because sometimes it's really hard to explain what's going on in my head, and the information comes in so fast that I lose a lot of it. But I thank you for being patient and understanding, and I will see you guys in the next one.